Sorry. Still with my coffee. Alright, guys, this is week 2 in Countdown to Wasteland. This week, I'm going to be doing Frankenhooker. I mean, that's just that alone. If you haven't seen the flick, which I'm sure most of you have, the title alone just makes you want to watch it. This is the Unearthed Films edition. I do know for a fact that Synapse will have the Blu-ray of Frankenhooker they're releasing. They will have it at Wasteland, so I will be picking that up. Yay, excitement. It's not supposed to be out until October, but they sell their stuff early at their tables when they do conventions. I think they're even going to have Maniac Cop, which is even due out even later than that. But, yes, definitely going to be picking up the Blu-ray. Anyway, Frankenhooker stars James Lorenz, great guy from Street Trash and RoboCop 3. He did that movie that they're going to be screening, which is just hilarious, called Swirly. And he was recently in a romantic comedy that I don't know who released it. Synapse might have released it. I don't remember what it was called, but it apparently won a bunch of awards, independent film awards and stuff like that. Apparently pretty good movie. I haven't checked it out. I don't even remember what it's called. But he was in that. And then starring Miss Patty Mullen, who was in Doom Asylum. Kind of a silly, goofy one, which I actually have over there. I should have pulled it out, but I didn't. But Miss Patty Mullen was also a Penthouse Pet in 1986, and I just happen to have that penthouse. You can kind of see her nipples through there, so I'm going to cover them up. But yeah, anyway, that's her. That is Patty Mullen. Obviously cannot show you the inside of this. But, and yes, this is not from a collection that I had in 1986. I actually went on eBay and found the one with Frankenhooker on the cover, or Frankenhooker in the magazine, and bought it, and I actually got it for pretty cheap. So this is a fairly vintage penthouse. So yeah, that's how much I like the movie. Anyway, Jeffrey Franken and his girlfriend Elizabeth, played by Patty Mullen, Frankenhooker, they're together. They're at a birthday party for her party. So I said potty like I was from New Jersey. Man, I just flubbed up there. I should put the cricket sound in there like Jason did, because that was hilarious. Anyway, he's sort of a Frankenstein-esque character. He messes a lot with, I think he calls himself a biomechanical engineer or something. But, he messes with a lot of medical and electrical things. He has, like, in the beginning of the film, he's got like this brain with an eye that he's trying to make, follow his hand. And he works for New Jersey Electric and Gas, but I guess in his spare time he's sort of a Frankenstein. And he has rigged this lawnmower for her father as a birthday present to be remote controlled. And the cat is over there like eating, I think he caught a bug, like you care. And she is showing her father, look what Jeffrey did. He made this cool thing, and all you gotta do, you don't even have to, it's remote controlled. And he's like, you gotta get out of the way of it, don't. It starts up. He's like, get out of the way. She moves it forward, and the thing chews her to bits. Well, Jeffrey is just distraught. He actually takes her head, a foot, a toe, maybe something else, and he plans to reassemble her. but he doesn't have all the parts. And he's got these elaborate plans. He's got it all figured out, but he just needs the rest of her body. Well, he can't get the rest of her body, so he has to get the rest of somebody else's body. But Jeffrey's not a bad guy. He doesn't go out there and just killing people willy-nilly. He is trying to figure out a way to do it without hurting people, and he realizes that that's not possible. And he's trying to get ideas. Now, Jeffrey does very strange things to get ideas. He takes a drill, and he has a brain mapped out. What points of the brain he can sort of touch and get ideas from. So he's 21. All right. He drills into his own skull to get ideas. Another just oddity of this film. And he figures out that hookers sell their bodies, right? I'll just get a hooker to do it. It's all for a fairly good cause. So he goes to New York, across the river. He lives in New Jersey. Goes across the river to New York, and he strikes a deal with a pimp who actually made a cameo who was actually in Brain Damage for a minute. But it's that guy right there. He strikes a deal with him. He wants to get 6 girls. He says his brother is having a bachelor party, and he needs to pick the perfect girl. So he lets him get like 6 of his girls, and he's going to let him sort of choose, give him an hour to figure out which girl he wants. Well, actually, in all actuality, he is measuring arms and measuring legs and looking at breasts and trying to figure out the perfect body for Elizabeth. He can't find the perfect body. He also noticed on his first trip that all these girls were addicted to crack. And he thought, well, if I give them super crack, I'll make super crack. And it's, yeah, super crack. I know that probably all of you have seen the film, but, it's a big jar of this stuff, which actually looks like the rock candy that you get on the stick. It's big crystallized sugar, basically is all it is. But you smoke this super crack and you explode. That's another way of him being able to sort of deal with what he's doing. He's going, well, I'm not making them smoke it. Nobody's putting a gun to their head. They don't have to. I'm not making them do it. I mean, it's already killing them anyway. I'm just speeding up the process. Another way that he can sort of, I'm not really a bad guy. I'm not really killing people. Well, he was going to give the super crack to the one girl that he picked. Well, he couldn't pick one girl, so he was going to go. Well, they just happened to all get into the super crack. They smoke it. They all explode. So he takes all their body parts back. He feels really bad, and he's like, I'm going to put all you guys back together. I just got to put back together my girlfriend first. Elizabeth, this is her night. So he goes back to New Jersey. He picks out the parts he wants. He puts the rest of the parts in this vat, this sort of waiting fluid of estrogen and whatever, I don't know what it's supposed to do. And he makes his Elizabeth, which turns out like this. And she is Frankenhooker. She has all the body parts of a hooker. So I guess sort of the memories of these parts sort of overtake her brain. And she's not really who she is. She's just repeating things that these other hookers have said. She's just sort of walking around, but she gets loose. She gets loose in New York. She ends up killing a guy. Basically, when she touches or kisses or messes with any guys, they sort of have the effects of the super crack. They, through electricity, I guess, they explode. And she meets up with one guy who was actually in The Exterminator, as the sleazy senator that likes to watch boys get raped or I don't know, something. And I do believe that is because the director of, yes, James Glickenhaus, produced this, directed Exterminator, so that's probably where that actor came in at. But, Jeffrey finally gets her back, and he gets her to be Elizabeth for a minute, and then things sort of fall apart, and the pimp shows up, and yada yada yada. End of the film. Um, one of definitely my favorite Henenlotter films. This is definitely more of a comedy than the rest. All his movies have comedic elements in them. Whether meant to or not, I think most of them are meant to be there. Most of the comedic elements in his films are probably meant to be there. But this is certainly more on the comedic side than it is the horror side. It's sort of a science fiction New Jersey comedy. It's definitely got that New Jersey, New York feel to it, and which all of Henenlotter's films do. And of course, Frankenstein, this sort of mad doctor science fiction thing, and it's comedy. It's pretty funny. Um, if you haven't seen it, which I'm sure most of you have, it's a hell of a lot of fun. I mean, come on, the guy drills in his own brain to get ideas. He makes super crack, and he turns his girlfriend into a Frankenhooker, Frankenstein hooker. So much fun, so awesome. Please, if you haven't seen it, you gotta get it. You gotta check it out. It's such a fun movie. Oh, and Zachary makes an appearance. For those of you in New Jersey and that are old enough in New Jersey, but I do know of Zachary. He hosted the local, I don't know, whatever cable show, Chiller Theater, which was sort of one of those. He was a horror host basically, um, but he's probably the most famous horror host ever. He was also the voice of Elmer in Brain Damage. So yeah, Frankenhooker. It rules. I mean, that's it. That's it. So I will see you next time for week 3. Um, I will have another review coming up of the Basement 80s Retro box set next week. Now, out of the 3 films that I was going to do for this special, if you want to call it, I didn't really time my weeks right, so I'm going to have to put in something else either next week or the last week. Haven't figured that out yet. I had an idea, and I tried it, and it didn't really work out, so I'm going to do something else. I don't know what yet. But anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day.